Hello, church family. Christmas is just a few days away, and want to take a few minutes to share some things coming up over this weekend. On Friday night, Christmas Eve, we'll have our service at 6 o'clock. We want to invite you to come and be a part of that. We'll sing several Christmas songs. We're going to be talking about the hope that we have in Christmas from John chapter 1. And we'll wrap up the night with candles, singing Silent Night. So I want to encourage you to bring some friends and family along. It'll just be a very warm service, a good time for us to be together. Should be about 45 minutes, so encourage you to be here for that. Also then on Sunday morning on the 26th at 9:30, we're going to have refreshments in the Connection Point. We won't have Sunday school that morning, but we also want to encourage the kids to be here at 9:30 so they can practice their music. Because at 10 o'clock, the kids are going to sing for us. They got 2 songs. They also have bells. They're going to do some work with that. We have another special music number for us on that Sunday morning. And the service is going to be focused on Luke chapter 2, the birth of Jesus. And so looking forward to just being together, celebrating the coming of our Messiah into the world on Sunday morning. So I encourage you to be here for that. Again, refreshments at 9:30, service at 10 o'clock, no Sunday school. Also, as you're here on Sunday, I want to encourage you to pick up a Christmas card. That we have a Christmas card for all of you from our family, and want to encourage you just to use that as a prayer prompt to be praying consistently for us. Well, as we head into Christmas, I just want to remind you a couple biblical truths I think could come in really handy. These truths ultimately are going to come from a couple different places, but there's a theological phrase that we often use. It's called already, not yet. And this phrase, already not yet, means that there are already things that God has done for us and has accomplished for us, but we have not yet received the fullness of those. For instance, we have been saved, but we are not experiencing the fullness of that salvation yet. So we're already saved, but not yet experiencing the fullness of it. Philippians chapter 1 gives us a hint of this when it says this: "For I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Christ." So God has already started a good work in us, but it's not yet complete, and it won't be complete until the day of Christ. And so we're fully saved, but we have not yet fully experienced all that God has for us. Why this is important is because as Christmas is coming, there are a lot of good things that we're looking forward to. Celebrating with friends, celebrating with family, remembering the birth of our Savior. And in the midst of all of these great reasons to celebrate, there's also going to be very likely some groaning that takes place. And so while you gather as a family and delighted to have everyone around, and maybe you're going to decorate some cookies, it's likely that some of those cookies might get burnt. The great time that you're going to have is a family fun night and maybe have a games and playing some games. Oftentimes those games can turn into a fight. As we think about just the highs and lows of a season like this, one of the things that with current COVID going on that some of you may not be able to be with all the people that you want to be with on Christmas. And that is, again, is a reminder of this already not yet. And so while there are already a lot of good things God's doing for us, a lot of promises he's given to us, the not yet reminds us that we still live in a world that's hurting, that things are hard, things are difficult, things we don't like. And particularly that we're told that in the book of Romans. In Romans chapter 8, we read this: "For we know that the whole creation has been groaning together in the pains of childbirth until now." And we saw the root of this a few weeks ago on Sunday morning when we were talking about Genesis 3. When Adam and Eve sinned, the whole world was impacted by their sin. This ripple effect has affected everything in creation. And so the creation itself, we're told, groans because of this, that things aren't like they're supposed to be. And so this groaning that is going on in the world, it goes on to say this: "And not only the creation, but we ourselves who have the first fruit of the Spirit groan inwardly as we await eagerly the adoption as sons, the redemption of our bodies." And so while creation groans, we groan too. That our world is full of reasons to groan. We've got thorns and thistles and all kinds of things that make life difficult. But this passage says that while we groan inwardly, it goes on to talk about that we wait eagerly for adoption as sons. And yet, we've already been adopted. But there's a fullness of that adoption is coming when it talks about the redemption of our bodies, when God's going to make everything right. And so why it's important for us to consider this is because during this Christmas season, again, there are likely going to be some things you're real excited about, and there are likely some things that are going to be hard and maybe even disappointing for you. But that's just a reminder that our God, that what he has given us in his word is true, that we can trust it. But it's also a reminder for us that we aren't home yet. That God is making a home for us, that he is preparing a place for us, and one day everything will be right. But until that time, we have the promises of God, the promises to look forward to, but also the promise that he's with us. And he's wanting to use these things that are hard, these things that are discouraging, to transform us more and more into the image of Jesus. As we wait patiently for our Savior, that we're not patient, we're not waiting patiently and inactive, but we're waiting with action. We're waiting with discipline. We're waiting with training our minds to think right about the things that God has done for us. And so in the midst of this season, I want to encourage you to filter all that's going to happen over these next few days with the already not yet perspective. That our Savior has already come. We already have lots of reasons to rejoice, but we don't have yet the fullness of that. And that day's coming. So today we groan, but we groan with glory, we groan with gratitude, and make sure that as we celebrate Christmas, that you're overflowing with joy because all that our Savior has done for us and is going to do for us. So love you, church family. Look forward to seeing you soon. May God bless you.